Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first tier list here with the brand new Death Guard Codex. This is very exciting. Today, we are going to be ranking all 7 detachments that are usable by this book. There are 6 in here, and then also the Flyblown Host detachment that was given us by the Games Workshop gods at Gromness. If this is your first time joining us here on the channel, we are Ardor40k. We are a competitively focused YouTube channel. We do all kinds of really cool stuff. We do games, we do tier lists, we do reviews. And if you want to find out even more about what we do, you can check out the War Room. That's the warroom.vhx.tv for a 3-day free trial. In there, we post 2 additional games a week. We got really cool stuff like Night Puzzles. We have strategy sessions. We have master classes. We have Know Thy Enemies, all kinds of amazing things to really up your game. And there is a 3-day free trial. So you can check it out. And if you don't like it, just cancel. Number 7, the worst attachment that Death Guard have access to is the Shamblrot Vectorum.
The Poxwalker one. It's so funny though. Like, I love it. It's fun, but I would never play this.
It is probably the funniest detachment in the game. It's remember the Kroot stuff. It's like Achilles heel. Its biggest flaw is that the Poxwalkers are terrible.
They're abysmal.
They're they're a good unit for being 60 points that infiltrates and stands on an objective and then dies.
Yes.
That's what I take them for.
I might get a containment.
They're good at that. You might get a cleanse even.
Oh.
They're great. But this detachment is take your Poxwalkers, take big units of Poxwalkers, just 130 points for 20 Poxwalkers, and then you add characters, and then you add offensive strats. But the Poxwalkers are 2 attacks that hit on 5s at 301. There's no amount of buffs in the universe that can make that profile offensively good.
But just remember, if you kill something, you bring back a guy.
Yeah, so you're 20 Poxwalkers with 3 CP and a character, charge 10 guardsmen, they kill 2. The guardsmen swing back and kill 2, and you're still down Poxwalkers.
It's a net neutral. You got it. It equals out. You kill 2, they kill 2. Look at that. Even. We're going to get Nick to play this.
Oh my God.
I'm going to convince Nick to play this on stream versus you and just see what happens. Just here you go.
So you do get 3 extra unit of Poxwalkers, and that's cool, I guess, right? You're playing with 180 extra points. I don't feel the need to do that, right? There's no point in the game am I it's turn 4. You know what I really need right now to save this game? 10 Poxwalkers arriving from strategic reserves.
You know what, funnily enough, would make this detachment actually crazy?
Yeah.
Would be if it worked just for your entire army. It wasn't Poxwalker centric.
Yeah.
But the army rule stayed the same where you just got free Poxwalkers.
I mean, I think this could work if the detachment was units near Poxwalkers get X. Right?
Yeah, because that's so easy to do.
Yeah. Poxwalkers do a thing for you. Poxwalkers are an aura of, I don't know, -1 to hit. That's, ignore that one, but you kind of get the gist.
Yeah.
I just it just doesn't do anything because Poxwalkers are terrible.
The Army Painter is my favorite hobby company in the entire world. My desk is literally full of Army Painter products, and it takes me from being an average painter to putting above tabletop standard models out into the tournament scene. Not only that, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive play than any other hobby company in the industry. They allow us to keep doing the things that we do. If you enjoy the Army Painter as much as I do, head over to thearmypainter.com where you can use the discount code ARTWAR5 to get a discount on your next order.
Moving on to number 6, we have a detachment that is bad for a very similar reason.
Yep.
We have the Taliban Summoners. Now, this detachment is better because the demons are better than the Poxwalkers. Not actually, but they're better at pretending to do damage. We're still taking Nurgle demons, and we're giving up good units like Deshravs and Plague Marines to add, I don't know, the bloat drones and Plague Bearers.
Yeah, the flies that do nothing.
Nothing. Or you can add a Great and Clean one and
stand there.
Menacingly. You can get Nurglings to come back, but then we're taking Nurglings.
Hey, don't hate on the Nurglings.
They're only units of 6 down, Mike.
Hey man, reviving Nurglings is still reviving Nurglings. Don't ruin my dreams, Quinn. I love my Nurglings.
This attachment does do some good things. So its 2 best things it does is it lets you drop not scary melee units 6 inches away. Yeah, right. You can drop a Great and Clean one. It hits okay. You can drop Rodigus and stuff. You can take Rodigus and a Great and Clean one and some flies, and then you might kill a Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a strat for reroll hits on your Death Guard units for 1 CP if they're also in combat with a demon unit.
Yes.
But like, I could just take Death Shroud and drop them 6 inches away and then not have to take these terrible demon data sheets.
I think the notable combo that you can do for this detachment is you deep strike the Death Shroud with a Lord of Contagion that has the enhancement that lets you deep strike wholly within 12 of that unit and 6, because there's no restriction saying you can't charge. So you deep strike them in, immediately deep strike in another demon unit. You both make 2 5-inch charges, and then you give your Death Shroud 4 rerolls to hit. I think that is the combo that you can do for this detachment, and that is the only combo you can do for the detachment.
Right? You're taking bad demons, and I mean,
you have your one trick. Hopefully it works, and if not, you just lose.
Right, but instead of taking demons, I could just take more Death Shroud, and then there's other ways to give them real hits and other detachments.
Or now, hear me out.
Yeah.
If you really want to bring demons, just run demons.
Just run demons.
Yeah, just
play demons.
Don't play them.
Just play regular demons.
Just run the regular demons.
Take your demons out of my codex. Give them back their decks.
I want a refund. I want my money back.
Number 5, we have the Death Lords Chosen. This is the detachment that is focused specifically around Terminators. So what does this detachment do well? Well, the mortal ability that if you're like anything nearby, it's afflicted is going to take some amount of mortals, can really start to add up very quickly.
Yes.
Especially if you take Mortarion, you can just like melt your opponent at like a shocking speed. The issue is that units near Death Guard already melt at ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
Right? So its attachment rule is giving you something cute, but it's not like giving you something that you like need fundamentally.
So I think the problem with this detachment is it's kind of similar to the 8-bound detachment in World Eaters that came out, is when this detachment was written, I feel like they just assume you're already in melee combat.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing really to help you engage outside of like one enhancement that lets your Terminators move 1 inch further and reroll advances.
And there's the one where you can like go back up and down, and like that is useful because Death Guard Terminators
reposition, which is nice.
Yeah.
But there's nothing helping you
to get to combat.
Get to the fight. And there's nothing benefiting you to bring the Plague Marines, which help you get to the fight. It is you're bringing Blight Lord Terminators, Death Shroud Terminators,
and that's all of
and some support.
Shambarat Victorum and Taliban Summoners are bad because the units you want to put in them are terrible.
Correct.
Right? Death Lord's Chosen is bad because you could run the exact same army in any of the other detachments that we're going to talk about, and it would just be a better army.
Yeah.
Number 4, the 4th best detachment here in Death Guard, we have Mortarion's Hammer.
Good old Plague Storm is back and kicking.
So I think we're starting to get the detachments, these 4 up that I would like really seriously consider running at a tournament.
You could see any of these at any
time. I think these 4 and up are all like good detachments that I am happy we have. The bottom 3 are like the cute ones that who cares about.
This really is just personal preference at this point. You can bring any of these 4 up here and you're not wrong. Like,
no, not at all.
I would not scoff at any of these.
So Mortarion's Hammer has a few things that are really going for it, and they're kind of spread across the detachment. So the first thing is that if you're getting a lot of vehicles, which this detachment is telling you to take, a lot of times you want to get in a long-range shootout with your opponent, but Death Guard don't really become deadly until the afflicted condition kicks in. And the fact is you can just be like, you're afflicted, means that you can effectively get into a long-range battle with someone, even if they're like, I'm going to pre-measure it so you can't get into contagion range, and then I'm going to, react them backwards. That's gone. They're just afflicted. You're just shooting them. Great.
Yeah.
That legitimately very good. The second thing this detachment really has going for it is if you're taking a lot of vehicles that have blast weapons, you're really going to want to take a Lord of Virulence and Pendulous Emissions, which is an aura of real ones, and then a lone op for your Lord of Virulence. Really good. Great enhancement. It's exactly what your army wants.
Also, another thing you can do that's a kind of little combo is it's actually a cool place to bring the Lord of Poxes, because Plague Marines, with their ability where you shoot something and give it afflicted, with a 18-inch lone op, it's just another vehicle to apply afflicted early game to allow your vehicles and stuff to just start hitting way harder than
they should.
But yeah, so I do think that that's a really good combo in order to start getting afflicted earlier. Now, mind you, it is a semi-expensive combo, but it's also really hard to push those expansion objectives without making yourself vulnerable to your Plague Storm tank line. So it's okay, cool, get within 18. You're now also more than likely just going to be afflicted because of the aura range. And now all of my tanks just get to see you. Thank you. Cool.
It's also like, I think this list is going to want some units that can go through walls. And the new one of Pox is actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they get to him, like, okay, I'm going to deep strike JPI and charge you. It's like, well, my guy's just going to kill you back.
Yep.
And he's then just going to still stand there and
cool.
do that. And also, it's a nice little infantry unit off on the side by your expansion to go and do containment or cleanse or any of those objectives that you need to do. It's super helpful and allows those vehicles to not have to worry about stressing to go over there.
I think the other big thing that Detachment has going for it is there is 1 CP go through walls, which is just like, there are a lot of vehicles in this book that are like really good, but just too big, cough, cough, the Defiler, cough, cough. And the fact that they can go through walls means that they're actually like usable. Also, the assault stratagem, quite good. A lot of times your opponent will ask you, do you have assault? And you can honestly tell them, yes, I have assault. And then they will just back up to not get shot by if you roll 6 on the advance. Yep. And having just like that extra distance can be really useful, even if you don't use the assault stratagem. Or how many times did it happen to you where you're like, dang it, I moved 10, but I need to move 10.01 to see you. You're like, cool, I got an assault, let's go, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And also with Plague Storm, with just the vehicles being buffed outright with a Defiler and the new Predator, you just have an Immolator Castigator combo that you can just fire off, and you get an additional AP for free from being afflicted.
Yeah, no, like
cool.
It's real good. I think the vehicle list will be really amazing because you should have a plethora of really good vehicles to choose from. It adores the new gun drones, the new heavy bite launcher drones. These are crazy. Yeah, really good.
So good.
Moving on to number 3, we have the Fly Blown Host.
The Christmas special.
The Christmas special. I remember sitting in my grandmother's house reading about Fly Blown Host.
With milk and cookies on the table.
So what does Fly Blown Host give you that's like good? Well, it gives you scout. Great. Your army's really slow. It gives you stealth on all your infantry.
Really
that's
good.
also really pretty good. Yeah. And then it has some really good stratagems. It has -1 to wound, which is outstanding on a new toughness 7 big unit of Blade Lord Terminators.
And especially since Death Shroud lost
at -1 to wound.
It now actually benefits them a lot more.
Yep. And then also there's a pile and consolidate 6 strat. Really good.
Amazing.
Yep. And there's a couple other like new really cool strats. There's like an impact mortals terminators.
Personal favorite. Reroll hits from range. If you're in half range, reroll all hits.
That's quite good. You take a big unit of Blight Lord Terminators, you give it a Lord of Virulence, then you reroll hits, roll wounds.
You give it loan op too.
Load up. That like we're really cooking with gas there. So why isn't Flyblown Host higher? The big issue is that all of the units you want to put in it kind of don't want to be there, right?
Yeah.
So Death Shroud Terminators don't want the Scout because they want to be in the sky to take advantage of the 6-inch deep strike. Plague Marines don't get the Scout because they want to be in the Rhinos to get reroll wounds, and also your Plague Marines want to be in Rhinos.
Yes.
Your Blight Lord Terminators, this probably is the biggest beneficiary here, right?
Yeah.
But I think Blight Lord Terminators are best in the Index, where you have 1 TP reroll hits and wounds with like no restrictions.
Yeah.
And then you can take, instead of Lord of Virulence, you can take a Lord of Contagion, and then they also hit in combat.
Really hard.
Really hard. So now we're looking at this detachment that's not bad in any way, but just is kind of like weirdly awkward in every way. And that all of the 3 big units that you want to be taking in it have this weird drawback that's different than the way the other ones have a drawback. And it ends up leading to this detachment that is a little bit confused. It's still good, still works, but is just a little confused.
Yeah, I still think it's probably one of the better anti-shooting lists.
100%.
Like right now, if the meta changes to be more shooting focused, I do see it being very useful. Yeah, the problem I think with Flyblown is it just feels too honest.
I completely agree. It just kind of like does what it does at you, and there's just nothing extra going.
Yeah.
Number 2, we have the classic Index, the Virulent Vectorum. As you told me before we recorded this video, sticky broken.
Sticky broken, bro.
Sticky broken, bro.
Sticky broken.
It's not a rule that will come up at every point in every game. It's like, you had a bad day. Your Poxwalkers got shelled by indirect. You can call sticky objectives and say, hey man, will you be there for me? And sticky objectives will be there for you.
You'll be there. 30 minutes or less.
30 minutes or less. Additionally, this detachment has access to just like a generally useful suite of stratagems and enhancements. Arch Contaminator.
So good.
So good. Real wounds for your unit. That's great. It has good offensive enhancements that you can give to a Lord of Contagion or Demon Prince. And then Feel No Pain makes the Demon Prince on foot way better.
Mini Mortarion.
Mini
I love
Mortarion. Also, Access to -1 damage now in the shooting or the fight phase, very good.
That's actually an insane change. That's crazy.
If you want to play a shooting style build, reroll hits and wounds in shooting for 1 CP, crazy. That's that's real good. It's really good.
And if you want to play a shooting style build with a bunch of blast weapons,
reroll shot count on your blast weapons. So those 3 drones that we talked about earlier, reroll shots, reroll hits, it's real good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I think the only reason that this detachment is not the best detachment in this codex is because it doesn't really have any way of buffing your combat. And Death Guard are really very much a combined arms army.
They are. I do think the changes to Death Shroud and to Blight Lords really help with that unneeded buffs, because they can both just perform so individually if you just put a Lord of Contagion in there. Like, the Lord of Contagion is basically any stratagem you could ever want for 90 points.
Lance and sustained hits. How was that a buff on a character?
It's so good.
He also, like, his axe slams too. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about the Lord of Contagion next week when we rank him, but spoiler alert, we think he's good.
So good.
So finally, drum roll, even though everyone knows what it is, we think the best detachment in this book is Champions of Contagion.
Broken.
This detachment is just like generally very good all around, not in ways that are substantially different from Virulent Victorum, but just it's like slightly better, we think, across the board than the other ones. First of all, the ability to swap between contagions is just generally useful. It also makes the -OC leadership and move contagion much more applicable because you don't have to be stuck with it. You can swap into it if it's going to matter for primary.
Oh yeah, 100%. It gives you that extra bonus for, like, if you're fighting against demons, you're always taking -1 to hit, and then you're just like, oh, well, now I'm going to take -1 move in OC because I don't need to worry about -1 armor.
Yep. If there's an enhancement there to give you 2, which is one of the best enhancements in the book, especially in the armies that have a lot of cheap characters and need to be using them early on.
Yeah.
Additionally, in my opinion, the 2 best strats in this book are both in this enhancement, and that is 1 CP crit 5 shooting in combat. Okay, that's real.
It's
on
okay.
Death Shroud with sustained and lethal hits, crit 5s, like, woo! Also, it's a little bit pricey, but 2 CP real hits and wounds, shooting your combat. In a pinch when you need it, it's really good.
If only we had a character that could reduce the cost of stratagems
And another
aura.
and another character who occasionally got you more CP.
This detachment is
So good. It's just generally useful, and it has the best strats, and it has solid enhancements.
Oh yeah.
That being said, it is not fundamentally different than the index attachment, and you could make a case for Flyblown having like different strengths. I think, as we said earlier on in this video, Mortarian's Hammer, Flyblown Host, Virulent Victorum, and Champions of Contagion are all like solid detachments.
Yeah.
We just think Champions are the best because it's like the best well-rounded, and also I really like it because it buffs your melee more than all of the other ones do.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it just does everything that you want your characters to do anyways. So it just allows for a lot more list freedom. Like, I would never consider in any other detachment bringing a Plague Surgeon. But if I can just have the points for it and start rezzing D3 guys while still giving them crit 5s and fight first as needed because I don't have to bring either of those characters, sure, might as well. Like, if I want to mess around and test it out, I'm not having any drawbacks for bringing him outside of just actually paying the points for him.
Yeah, no, I like the flexibility because you're Plague Marines. Also, 1 CP fight first for any Plague Marine unit, because you have to have 2 characters attached, such Plague Marines, means that you're not tied to the Foul Blight Spawn, and you can be like Lord of Poxes and Malignant Plague Caster, or like Plague Surgeon and Icon Bear. I don't know why you'd ever make that particular combo, but like...
It'd basically just be your Illogious Putrefier and the Malignant Plague Caster.
Yeah.
You just fight first with them, and you're like, okay, crit 5s with sustained lethal base with fights first for 1 CP. And it's just like... what are we doing here? Like, what is this?
Well, hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a comment. Remember to like and subscribe and all that YouTube jazz. And remember, the War Room is awesome. There's going to be tons of Death Guard content. There's a game in the War Room right now between me and Richard, where he's running Canopticor Necrons, and I am running Champions of Contagion. And if you want to see why we think it's so awesome, that is the perfect game, because I get to show off all of the really cool abilities and units. And there's a moment where a squad of Death Shrouds kills a full unit of race. and to Doomstalker in one activation, and it was great.
It's not okay, but I love it.
But I love it. We'll see you guys around. Have an excellent day. Stay stinky, and goodbye.